So how can housemates cope with the face-to-face rejection?
You don't go into that house without strategies about how to cope about rejection, because it's going to happen. One
Do you think
person
some
is going to
people
be...
go in there, though, and just not think about that?
Oh, no, no. I think they hope to not, but you have to go in there and be, if you're of balanced mind, actually know that not only within the course of the period of the weeks that you're in there, at some point you're going to have to face rejection, whether you don't do well in tasks or whether someone's going to start slandering you. It's going to happen. And the strategy is, oh, I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to be me all along. Ah, but inside the heart's just doing that.
Yeah, sinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's take a look at Lauren, who did an OK job of trying to keep her feelings undercover.
The decent people who are here, being Blow My Own Trumpet, me, Adam, Lydia, Benedict, adored you. And do you know what? I'd rather have their clarification than any one of these assholes. Do you know what I mean? Please don't get upset, because you know what? It's not even worth them seeing you upset for. That's why I've not cried. That is why I've not cried, because I don't want any of them to fucking feel good about what they've done. Cuddle.
OK, so...
Well, the thing is, I think they did it quite nobly. What she was saying is don't crack up. To be honest, possibly if they had, it could have been quite a strategy which would have, I don't know, made the whole group a little bit more real, because no one likes to see the damage that they're doing unless they're sadistic, frankly. Okay. So how they did handle it was noble in the end. It was the best they could have done under the circumstances.
She received 7 nominations. Why do you think everybody went for her? Well, most people.
She's not in the pack. We know this. They're the outsiders. She is a girl who, on her natural grouping on the outside, will never have had to contend with much rejection or much kind of competition in many ways. She's talented, she's skilled at what she does. She's probably the girl that everybody wanted to be alongside in the group, because she's sort of the bouncy, little blonde, pretty thing, and she's never had to face this amount of wall of hatred in the whole of her life. She's the people that people want to actually be jealous of, unfortunately for her. So she's now having to evolve very, very quickly and grow in a very short space of time to be able to emotionally handle what she's now facing. And do you know what? She's doing it. She is doing it.
How will the nominations affect her, do you think? Will we see a change?
We've started to see a change. She has to now actually basically either carry on the way she is, or, I mean, I would love her just to start firing and sort of start standing up to people. She took it for the group very early on. A number of weeks ago, she said no to 5 minutes with her sister for 5 points for the group.
And that seemed to really upset her.
It did. And 12 hours later, 3 other members of the group took the 5 points away from her by sleeping in. She learnt very quickly then one really important lesson about her beliefs is that not everybody treats each other the same.
Yeah.
She was absolutely shattered then, and I think that possibly was one of the first times in her life. So to watch her growing and evolving is actually quite interesting. She is only 20, and the comparison between her and Caroline, we'll come back to that if you want, is quite interesting.
Quite different, isn't it? So let's move on to Luke A. This is the first time that we've seen him up for eviction. How do you think that has made him feel?
Oh, he's been devastated. You saw it. He's always going to be congruent about that. He's another one who I do generally think on the outside it's treat others as. He's also very comfortable in his own skin. He's suffered and endured, or probably taken choices in his life to do changes that most of us can't comprehend. He's also very accomplished at what he does, and he's gone in there and been nothing other than what he is. He learnt very early on, it happened with Adina and particularly Lydia, that you have to kind of start taking defence and cover, or even backbiting and manipulating as a way of surviving. But it's no holds barred for him. It's no skin off his nose in terms of it's something he realises he's got to do, and he's quite cool with it, and the others can't handle that. He will never be a pack member, and he was never going to go in there and be a member of a large group. He doesn't need to be.
OK. So let's move on to Becky, Scott and Connor. Becky and Scott nominated Connor last week. This week, they didn't. Now, can you tell me, is this why?
Right, let's get this straight. Scott, Becky, see whatever happened and whatever, I was disgusted, I was angry, and I said things I shouldn't have said.
Yeah.
I said things I shouldn't have said.
I was just very irrational, Connor, and I don't want to bring up why.
Right? Yeah. And whenever we happened in the day room, it was stupid, and I apologise for that, right?
Just flustered
whenever
me
I says to you, right, I don't do things like this, I don't do shit like this, I don't apologise because I don't know what I've done wrong. I'm apologising, whatever I've done wrong to you, I'm apologising.
Yeah, that's really...
Right?
That's
when
really
I've done to you, I'm apologising.
OK, so...
I don't think he's apologising. He's press ganging.
What's he doing?
Well, because he's a wannabe alpha, in my opinion. He has amazing traits, does Connor. Let's not get that wrong, because he does, in the tasks, he begins to shine. And we see those facets of him that he can spin, which have made him probably quite popular back in Derry and everywhere else he's gone, when he spins that happy side of him. When people start to stand against him, he cannot handle it. He doesn't like it. He press-ganged the pair of them into not nominating him this week. And it was kind of the whole control about that which actually made me feel a little uncomfortable.
Do you think that's how they are feeling about him, then?
I think many of them will feel quite afraid to start standing up to him. It would be nice to see someone do it, but I don't think it's going to happen just yet. It may happen in time if he stays in.
OK, Diane, you deal, everybody. Now, whilst the current housemates are faced with basic rations, we invited a few ex-housemates to a sumptuous dinner on us for once. Here's what happened.
Beach Bar Babylon, a stylish and exclusive restaurant in the heart of fashionable London. We're here tonight to eavesdrop on a true clash of cultural titans.
Cheers! Cheers. Benedict, hurry up. Oh, God.
Chris James is a property renovation entrepreneur. Victoria Eiserman is a voluptuous, mature lady of grace and poise. Lydia Louisa is a dancer, performer, and fiancée to the most famous man in the world. Let's listen in on their scintillating conversation.
This tastes a bit fishy, actually. Connor, 110%. He should have been out ages ago.
Becky. I can't watch her no more on the TV.
Why?
Too fake. Acting too much.
Who do you want to go, by the way? Oh, you do? Yeah.
He should have been the one to go after the things he said and the way he's behaved.
He should have gone when I went, actually.
Yeah. Well...
You know what? I'm not saying this, but I think I'm a bit of a psychic, because the moment I actually met him, I knew that he was not a nice person. Yeah, seriously. It's faker than my breasts, quite frankly. And they're very fake. I don't think Ashley's being fake, but Luke 100,000,000% is being fake. Yep. It's one thing playing a game, but also playing a game with somebody's feelings. It's her feelings. She actually really likes him, and he actually doesn't really like her in that way. He's playing her, and I don't like that at all.
I thought that, and then someone made a good point to me the other day, and they said, actually, Ashley had, on a couple of occasions, said that she didn't know if she wanted to be with him, which I found quite interesting.
There's nothing me and him that have in common at all.
Oh, because she had said that.
No, that's insecurity, and I'm not being funny, but he's quite a good-looking guy. She's not a good-looking girl. He can do way better than her, and she knows that. So basically, she's insecure. That's the reasons why she said.
The bit that smashed it with me is as well. I've watched it back. I think it was the first episode. The minute we walked in there, she talked about pissing on people.
Has anyone done water sports? That is the question.
And I was standing there, and Luke S was to my side, and I said to him, "That's a keeper." And he laughed and went, "You're telling me," and walked off. And I had to walk away because I was laughing. And I'm thinking 2 days later, he's trying to be balls deep in it. It's not really making sense, is it?
From the very beginning.
He tried it on with every girl, right? Before he got to...
He gave me the eye. He gave me the eye as well. It's pretty clear.
He even said to you he prefers older women, so he was putting it on you.
He was totally putting it on me, and I was not interested at all.
I saw that. I'm not going to lie, I don't like him.
Luke S is boring. He's very dull. For me, for example, I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm getting this whole, you were playing a game, Lydia, and you were playing a game, and it's like, hang on a minute. Are you joking? When there's people like Luke S who starts a fake relationship, Connor, who would do anything to win. I mean, he would sell his own grandmother for a £5.
But Luke S treats women wrong, has to be the best at everything when he's not. If he's not the leader, if it's his way or no way, arsehole. Simple, standard. I'll tell him to his face as well.
And who's this arriving late? Well, if it isn't Mr. Benedict Garrett, a postmodern erotic thespian of the highest order.
I covered you in the shower. I know. Evening. How are you?
Good. Looking very handsome and smart as usual.
We've not got to all the juicy bits yet.
Well, we've done some juicy bits.
Have we?
Yes.
What have I missed?
Welcome back to Big Brother Spit on the Side. I am so glad that I have never had to do face-to-face nominations. It would have been horrible, wouldn't it? Yeah. Just awful to have to, like, say that about other people. Should we have a chat about the challenge as well? I hit a girl. I shouldn't do that. Hit a boy instead. Right, so yesterday the housemates cast their nomination votes face to face. Cousin, you're like, what did you make of the whole face-to-face?
Oh, it just is so eggy, isn't it? It just makes everything inside you just go, oh, yeah, just literally shrivel up.
It's so uncomfortable to watch, isn't it? And it's one of those things where you're kind of on the edge of your seat going, oh, this is just so mean. But
I was pleased
really
Lauren
like
didn't cry, though. I really thought she did well not to cry. She just took the whole thing. I was just expecting her to go and just pop and burst, but she didn't.
Do you think it was fair of Big Brother?
Big Brother can do what Big Brother wants. So, do you know what I mean? It's the name of the game. When you go in there, you know that sometimes you're going to have to do difficult things. But it was a bit... It was good. It was brilliant, but it was really hard to watch, like Kirsten said, because you were just like, oh, my gosh. I think it would have been better if they had said real reasons why as well, because, you know, Caroline sort of put it all on herself, and you're like, oh, please, don't, you know...
This is what we mentioned yesterday, very briefly, when we were chatting to Judy James. She goes into the diary room on a normal eviction when it's, you know, in the diary room, and it's just on her own, and she kind of gives it, and she's very straight down the line, she's very articulate, and she says exactly what she thinks. Yet she did refer it all back onto her and saying, I think you don't like me, I think you don't like me,
which I think is a reflection of her. She's very self-centered. It's all about her, do you know what I mean? And she's just... You've just got to be honest, I think, and maybe if everyone was honest and genuine, maybe it would have helped with some of the... Although it's hard to nominate, it might have helped with some of the tensions, but everyone was just looking at each other going, yeah, right, yeah, whatever. Even Karen was like, yeah, whatever, with your, you know, whatever.
How would you feel if it were you?
I don't like the whole concept of it, to be honest with you. I don't like the way that
Don't you love it when Liam comes on? He just kind of gives it to you straight.
Well, I'll tell you another thing, is that... If it's meant to be a reality television programme that we're watching, then, you know, obviously, you know, things have changed since they did originally when the first thing started or whatever.
It has to evolve somehow.
It's going to evolve, and to be honest with you, I'm all up for making it more entertaining and things like that. But where I find the difficulty in watching it is when all of a sudden you've got big bands stood in the same room playing musical instruments, and then people are voting face to face. You've got characters in there like Connor, who's like Jet from Gladiators, I don't know if you've seen her, but who said earlier that he's like a faux alpha male, and I think so exactly the same. He doesn't have that strength of character, but what he does have is a big, Desperate Dan-style chin that seems to make himself look like the person. And so when you've got the face-to-face nominations, he, like, puts himself across, like some of the insiders and the outsiders with their separate groups. They're all making themselves, you know, less available to the other people who want to nominate them, because face-to-face, they want to settle. In my series of Big Brother, you know, we had to do a couple of things where we would have to say stuff. But I know in my head, I would want one person out, but I'd know that they were fitting quite well with the group at the time, and so that I didn't want to stir it up.
Was it more individual in your year than it is now?
You have, you know, like I'm sure you're all aware, when you base opinions or when you form opinions in your mind, they're sometimes formed of 2 or 3 different variables, you know, and I think that chance is taken from you when you have to do it face to face, because not only you have to push down this cringiness sensation about speaking freely to people about people who essentially you're facing, but also at the same time you've got friends who you're going to put your opinion to, you know they're going to disagree, so that might pull your allegiances apart.
He needs to do a degree in Big Brother, because
I was just going to say, we've only got about 8 minutes here. You're taking about 5.
Yeah, where are you getting your 100 quid's worth?
We've got to move on to our nominees. Yeah?
Pardon me?
We're going to talk about the nominees now. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's
okay,
fine.
we'll move
Sorry,
on to
carry on.
No,
carry on.
First up is Lauren. Now, she's used to being up for eviction. She's been up a couple of times before. Do you think it's time for her to face a public vote again, Kirsten?
Do you want me to take this, Kirsten?
I am quite lulled by your voice, actually. It is soothing me. I actually think she'll go this week. I think her time...
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
I don't think she will.
No, I think we see the softer side of Luke, and I think, yeah, Lauren will actually go. I think her time has come, even though I love her and her little bum.
She's got a great bum, hasn't she?